Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Winklerverse for our day late and $2 short Packers recap of their win 16-10 over the Indianapolis Colts. Thanks for joining me for a few moments. Remember to like and subscribe. We've got a fun week this week. We'll do some We've got the Horvat picks. That's kind of the mode we're settling into. I did not jump on Sunday to do a podcast because I had a buddy over and he's never experienced the red zone. So we had to get the red zone because this Packers game was supposed to end where we could have a good 50 minutes and we could almost have the whole witching hour. But then it went a lot longer than it needed to towards the end of the game, which made me a little concerned. First off, the big takeaway, they won the game. I mean, Malik Willis is your quarterback. You got a Colts team where Anthony Richardson, who is my daily fantasy play of the day, just because when this guy plays football, he puts up big numbers. He's like QB4, QB5, QB2. When he plays and is healthy throughout the game, he puts up big numbers. He did not do that on Sunday because of the Packers defense. The Packers defense did an incredible job, and it is going to be a work in progress with Jeff Hafley. We're seeing different things, maybe the one high safety, the 4 down linemen. They're changing all this stuff that these guys have known for a long time. And there might be some just growing pains with a new coach anyway. But the performance that the defense had, I think, has to be maybe the top billing. I'm thinking in my head, is it the performance that the defense had, or is it the performance that Matt LaFleur had as the head coach? Independent thoughts of my own. You started with MLF deep in his bag, Jacobs juking, jet sweeps, Narv dog, ball control. Okay, there's going to be some major growing pains for Colts fans with Richardson. That pick that he threw was more pre-ordered than an Uber ride to the airport. It was a near masterpiece for MLF and the Packers. A 26-3 beatdown wearing an ugly 16-10 sweatshirt. But who cares? Plan was great. Team was ready. And aside from a few botches, nearly perfect. Hashtag stuff it. Hashtag bag it. Hashtag keep her moving. Hashtag do I even watch the Commanders anymore? They won too, dude. So the Packers got the win 16-10. Very exciting. As we all enjoy a victory Monday. It never felt like they were going to lose. Once it was 10-0, and then they had the opportunity to score. Obviously, Josh Jacobs fumbled, so maybe things got a little hairy there. But the Packers were able to bait Anthony Richardson into 3 interceptions, including the one late. But it didn't feel like the Packers were going to lose, even though they were sort of giving things away. It did, 13-3. It felt 30-3. The problem with those kind of games, though, is when you have that, the feel of it is different from the reality of it. And the reality of it is the Packers gave up a touchdown late, and the Colts had the opportunity to possibly take the lead. Now, the text that I had sent, again, I hate texting during games. I think I hate getting text during games. I like being the texter. I don't mind being the sender. I don't like to be the sendee. And maybe that was just during a primetime game when I'm trying to work. I guess if I'm not trying to work, it's fine. If it's a noon game and people are texting me, okay. But if it's like a primetime game and I'm trying to regulate my Packer fan emotions and I see Jordan Love go down and I'm also trying to, um, you know, do a job, talk on the radio. This isn't like working, like taking 20 minutes watching the game. I'm talking about sports as the sports that I care about is going on. And now I got to respond to the text. But I was sending everybody, and I did the copy paste with 3 different chains. This is the kind of game that in a regular season, I think we can win. If this was the playoffs, they would have lost. Anthony Richardson had a guy in stride towards the end there. If that's the 49ers, that's Brandon Ayuk, and he's catching it. I mean, in the playoffs, the Packers lose that game. So it's nice to know that they can win a game like this. It's nice to know that it can happen. Now we just need to transfer that into the playoffs. Would be nice. I got a couple voicemails that I want to play, including one from Spark Guy from earlier in the week, but I think it's still fitting. Um, that I've only briefly saw the transcription of. I think he's going to rile me up. I got a couple voicemails that we want to play. You can still get those in 402-915-BART. You are going into the Winklerverse. We are brought to you by Happy Place Hemp. The promo code is BART. 25% off every order at happyplacehemp.com. You can get your THC seltzers, which are all the rage, and deservedly so. They go 5, 10, or now 20 different milligrams in terms of what you want the setting to be. You can also get the gummies. The gummies have been great. The gummies did help. They do help. I've talked a lot about the different kinds. There's the THC free. There's the ones with that, and then there's the CBD CBN ones, which I know have been pretty popular amongst people that listen to the podcast and the show. Is that they help you sleep. They help me sleep, which I should say, and it looks like they've helped a lot of you sleep as well. These you can order in different varieties of sizes. But again, if you just want to try it, they have the variety packs. You get the promo code, and then that promo code's good anytime you use it. So it's not just like, oh, you get one shot at it. The promo code is good at any time at happyplacehemp.com. You can also check them out in Muskego. But on Friday night, take a gummy, help me sleep, because I had to get up and coach right away. My kids' soccer team. I didn't keep score. The parents told me we won like 12-2. I didn't keep score. My kids scored a goal. I know that. I personally did not keep score. But I am being told I'm being credited with a win for my 5-year-old and 4-year-old team, of which I do not think we need to do wins and losses. But the parents kept score, so good. Good for that. HappyPlaceHemp.com. I want to play a voicemail from the Sean O'Connell. 402-915-BART. Carl's Place voicemail line. Check them out for your golf simulator needs. I know you have them. Here's the Sean O'Connell on the Packers game. Then I'll get into some of the stats and look around the league. Here's Sean.
Hello, Winklerverse. They're calling into the voicemail line as directed by an X posting directed towards us. So in regards to the Packer game, I will start with the good. And the good is that the Packers committed to the run, a lot of out of necessity, but they resisted the urge to get away from it. They committed to the run. It was a very nice thing to see. Another good was the defense was flying to the ball in a very, very, very reassuring manner. Made me happy. I don't know if it made anybody else happy, but I was happy with it. And then additionally, the defense, they're going after the ball a lot more, and they are taking the ball away from the offense, and that is a very good thing. Now the bad. Matt LaFleur did not make any kind of halftime adjustments, and that was frustrating because he has been at this a while, and Malik, he had that third down conversion of a long pass to Romeo Doubs, so there's no reason not to have a little bit of trust in there. And not only that, let's build his confidence, too, for crying out loud. And then the last thing that is bad, again, Matt LaFleur, he's starting to get the silver fox look, and that is just making him even cuter. His cuteness is increasing, and that is completely, and it's unnecessary. It's annoying as shit, and I just, Matt LaFleur just drives me up a fucking wall.
Sean.
Thank you for taking my call, Bart Winkler of the Winklerverse. Love you guys. See ya.
Thank you to the Sean O'Connell. Going through some stuff. Malik Willis, obviously, 12 of 14, 122 yards, and a touchdown. His rating was 128.6. His quarterback rating is a fake stat. QBR is not real, so I'm not going to bore you with that. I cannot believe ESPN got that one to stick with you guys. 128 or 126.8. That's an incredible rating. Now, he only threw 14 times, and he only threw for 122 yards. Okay. But he does have a better stat line so far this season than Caleb Williams. Hold on, I'm not there yet. Malik was just, they had some design QB runs. Remember, this guy's been a Packer for 3 weeks. He did have some plays. He needed to make some plays. He made that play to Dobbs. He had that touchdown to Wicks, which the broadcast, I think, right away said, it could have been a pick six. I don't know if the guy had the footing, But I like how do you complain about a 12-14 game for Malik Willis with the touchdown? So it was nice that he was able to step in. Apparently, Jordan Love actually was pretty close to playing. That's what Domofsky's saying. I still don't buy it. I think Matt LaFleur was just trying to be cute with it. I do think that it's possible he plays this weekend. I just don't think he was ever close to playing last weekend against the Colts. Now, against the Titans, the noon game coming up, you kind of want to see Malik Willis because it's his old team. There's some fun there. And Will Levis sucks. Like, Malik Willis got beat out by this guy who sucks. So, I don't know. How bad are the Colts? How bad is the Colts defense? One might wonder. So we'll see what happens. That's going to be a big storyline this week. The questionable, the doubtful, the probable. We'll figure out what happens with Jordan Love, if he's going to play or not this weekend. But they got a win when he was out. And I think that when you have a backup quarterback, he's got to come in. Like, your season, my backup quarterback idea is you need a guy that can come in and play 4 games. And in those 4 games, you hope to go 2-2. Worst case, go 1-3. Because if you have a good enough quarterback, you should still be able to make up the difference in the rest. So if we are going to miss Jordan Love for 4 games, which seems like it's probably not going to be that long, but if we are, you got to win. So that's good. Now you've got 3 more chances, if necessary, to get another win and go 2-2. That's just the theory that I always think that you need to come up with. If you start to miss more than 4 games, sure, your backup quarterback can still win, but then your chance of actually like winning a Super Bowl decrease quite a bit. So Malik Willis, this was a guy who was not here a few weeks ago. I was trying to think of myself, would Sean Clifford have given you this game? Would Sean Clifford have given you this game? And I don't know that he would have. I think with Malik, they certainly had an idea what they wanted to do. Run the football, which they did that a lot. Run the football, run the football, run the football. A little bit with Malik. But also, if the spot came where you needed to trust him, you needed to trust him. And it looked like Matt LaFleur was able to, at least in spots, trust Malik Willis, which you have to. This is the most important position on the field. You've got to at least have some semblance of faith in your quarterback. Otherwise, you might as well put Kendall Hinton back there like the Broncos did. So Malik ran the ball 6 times, some designed, some not, but he had 41 yards. Jaden Reed they used as a runner, which was good because they probably knew they weren't going to get the ball to him a lot. So use him when you can. Even Bo Melton got involved in that. Marshawn Lloyd had a big run, got pulled back, but he looked good on that run at least. Emmanuel Wilson came in a little later. Josh Jacobs, 32 for $151, 4.7 average. I was really excited when the Packers got Josh Jacobs. I think he's a really good back. I think he's severely underrated, maybe because of the situation he was in, or he had a down year. With the Vikings, they've got Aaron Jones now, and Aaron Jones, he's doing all right too. The Ty Chandler got most of the running for them yesterday. But Josh Jacobs, I don't know that you get this kind of game out of Aaron Jones. Can Aaron Jones get the ball 32 times like this? I don't know that you can. So it would have been nice to have both of them. I still wish we had Aaron Jones. I'm not taking away from Aaron Jones at all. I just want to make sure we highlight Josh Jacobs is really good. Josh Jacobs is really good. And this is the exact kind of thing where you wanted Josh Jacobs for. So let's not. I know we're sad about Aaron Jones and he likes the skull chant. That's shitty. That's heartbreaking. That sucks. But this is why the Packers got Josh Jacobs, and it came to fruition and it came to pass. It helped, is what I was trying to say. Dobbs 3 for 62. Wicks again had that touchdown. Tucker Kraft had a couple of catches as well. Jacobs did fumble. Now I can't not praise Jacobs without that goal line fumble sucked. And I don't even want to say against a better team it would have mattered more. I'm stunned what happened with the Colts. I don't quite understand what happened with the Colts. They looked like a very competent team against the Texans. They did lose that game in week 1, but Richardson was good. Ran the ball a little bit more. Packers were able to keep him in check there when he wanted to run. The pressure was really good. The defense was really good. Now, they only got 1 sack, but I thought they did a good job of containing him. He only had 37 yards on 4 carries. Jonathan Taylor, obviously, he's going to bust it out. They ran for 140 yards. Packers ran for 261. So all in all, this was a game that looked like it was going to slip away from them. It did not. This was a game that the Packers had a plan. Not unleash Malik, but rely on Malik when we have to. Otherwise, we are running that football. And then the defense, we're not winning this game without the defense. And the defense stepped up as they needed to. So a 16-10 win probably could have been a little more. They missed a field goal as well. I mean, take that touchdown away, take the field goal. We're up to 26. Maybe you hold them on that last drive. I mean, this could have been a 26-3 win, as a wise man said earlier in this video. So, yeah. Good win, though. They got the Titans next week. We'll again be on Jordan Love watch and hope to see the Packers offense that we need. But it does help to know that at least for 1 week when they needed to go on their backup quarterback, they were able to go to their backup quarterback. Now, the Packers, who the odds for them to make the playoffs were in favor of them missing the playoffs after last week. Still, technically, as I look at the standings, technically, it does look like the Packers are a last place football team. Why would that be? Conference record. Yes. The Packers are currently last place in the NFC North because we are 0-1 in the NFC after losing to the Eagles. The Bears have not played an NFC opponent yet, so they're 0-0. And the Lions are 1-1, both NFC opponents, and they did get a win. So, yes, technically, the Packers are in last place. So if you're a Bears fan or a Lions fan or even a Vikings fan, you can temper down Packers Victory Monday-ness today by saying that you are a last place football team. It's true. As of right now, they are. The Vikings, meanwhile, are 2-0. 2-0 in conference, 2-0 in the season. Now, they beat the Giants last week. Okay, whatever. But they beat the 49ers, which, as I've taken back I would root for the Bears over Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl. I take that back. I root for Rodgers. How about Rodgers? Braylon Allen. Nice. Crazy for Braylon Allen, too. If it's the NFC Championship game, I'm rooting for the Niners over the Vikings. Unfortunately, I would be. But yesterday, when the Packers are on at noon and I'm just kind of randomly seeing whatever jumps on my red zone screen that's set up on my laptop, I don't hate that the Vikings won. I don't hate that they beat the Niners, shut them up a little bit. Niners, I think, are the only NFC team that Brock Purdy loses to. So we got to figure out what's going on there. But Sam Darnold, pretty good. Lions lost to the Buccaneers. And then the Bears, as we all saw on Sunday Night Football, Caleb Williams is going to be good. Okay? The Bears are going to be good. All right? They are going to be. They might not be yet. And I think what happened with a lot of Bears fans and Bears media is they didn't want to wait for that time. Like at the beginning of the year, last year, there was going to be some struggles with Jordan Love. But if we came out in week 1 and say, watch this, dude, Jordan Love's going to set the world on fire. Look at his weapons. He's going to be so good. We'd look dumb. Later in the season, it worked because Jordan Love, everything came together and he got his big contract. Maybe that's what happens with the Bears. But nobody in Packerland last year was like, this is going to be fucking amazing. The whole time is going to be great. Bears fans kind of were like that. I have a voicemail from Spark Guy. Some Packers, Bears, I think some Brewers, Cubs. It's the whole Chicago versus Wisconsin thing that we just can't get enough of here on the show. I got people still digging around the YouTube and looking for the Craig Council reaction when we found out live. Here's Spark Guy on the voicemail.
Bart, Spark Guy here. You sent out the bat signal on your post game on the Packers for a Bears perspective, and as a resident Bears fan, I need to give that perspective. Couldn't disagree with you more. I think where I'm consistent and not hypocritical, Brewer fans, including yourself, are not. The dynamic between the Brewers and the Cubs and the Packers and the Bears is the same. The number one rival of the Brewers is the Cubs. The Cubs are not rivals to the Brewers. Cubs fans are not invested. Brewer fans are. Brewer fans are very excited when the Cubs do poorly. The Cubs fans generally, and I'm not putting myself in that category because I am here and I get a lot of shit. So I have started, but again, it's not the same. Like Brewers don't bother me nearly as much, and I'm a unique situation. I'm here. Chicago fans down there, they don't care about the Brewers, and some of them even cheer for them because it's a fun stadium, it's a good history, everything else. The same now applies, and as a Bear fan, it hurts.
That's not why you cheer for him. It's a fun stadium. It's a fun stadium because you overpower us and you embarrass us in our own building. Cubs fans aren't cheering for the Brewers, Spark Guy. I'll let this play out, but Spark Guy does diminish. Like where I agree with him so far is when the Cubs struggle, Brewers fans are aware of it. We know. And it's heightened this year because we want Craig Counsell to suck. So when the Cubs struggle, we know. Okay. And we might like if the Cubs are on Sunday Night Baseball and if the Cubs are if the Cubs are on Sunday Night Baseball and the Cubs win, we are silent. But if the Cubs lose, we're very loud. Here's the difference with the Cubs. If the Brewers lose, they're silent. Cubs fans are silent. If the Brewers win, Cubs fans are loud because they're like, oh, does this fucking team win? Ugh. Cubs fans are different. Brewers fans jump on the Cubs when they lose. Cubs fans are beside themselves when the Brewers win. They probably care less than we care. But you also took our guy, who we're happy you did, maybe, but it was still bullshit. Anyway, I'll let it play out. Hey, but the Bears are they're not rivals with the Packers both ways. The Bears have been dominated for 30 years, had some year there, where they did decent and made the Super Bowl once, but it's been domination by the Packers. That's exactly why the Bears fans should and do just revel in the Packers' disappointments. That's how these things go. When you're down, you're looking up and you're fighting to get up, and part of that is truly enjoying the misery of those above you. That said, I would say the gap is much smaller than Packer fans assume, considering their countless playoff failures. And the fact that, I think the main thing to say is I had a hater at a 10-year-old birthday party, and one of them, when the Packer game came up, said, they suck. And somebody else said, they're title town. And that kid said, they haven't even won a Super Bowl since we've been alive. It's been 14 years. And that tenor is exactly where I come from. I revel in Packer losses. I don't expect Packer fans to care about the Bears particularly at this point, but it's totally normal within fandom for Brewer fans that kind of obsess about the Cubs and for Bears fans that kind of obsess about the Packers. And some of the greatest memories I have are Packer losses, and they truly are enjoyable. So just disagree. Be consistent. Either don't care about any of your opponents or care about them all. And I think your version of not caring about your opponents or your rivals, even if it's a one-sided rivalry, is just so dumb. So that's all, buddy. Take care. Well, I'll tell you where I am, and you'll hear this on the Infinity Sports Network, my show, 9 to 1, 9P to 1A, including tonight and every weeknight on your local radio affiliates, many affiliates throughout the great state of Wisconsin. I tell Bears fans this because I'm on in Chicago. I understand that. So I tell them, look, I'm a Packer fan. My whole life, they've been good. You guys are about to be good. I'm going to guide you through what that's like to be good, to have expectations. You can't meet a girl on the first night and all of a sudden get married. That's what you're trying to do. It was an arranged marriage. Bears fans didn't want Caleb Williams, weren't excited. Okay. And then they got excited in the preseason, and now they're like maybe not as excited anymore. I don't know. But you guys think you're very good, and you're very like here. This might prove Spark Guy's point. There was one comment I posted on. There's this one Packer fan account. I don't know, these Facebook accounts. Like diehard Packer fan, I think it is. Why do 500,000 people follow this account? Oh, Packer. But then they like made fun last night of Caleb Williams. Paint your nails with something else. That's lame. That's lame. We're not all going to be Terry Bradshaw about it. That's lame. You can I'm glad the Bears lost, especially that kind of game. Had the Packers lost and then the Bears won like in the same game, that would have been really dumb. That would have been really dumb. But they're going to be good. They've got a quarterback that's going to be good. He has struggled so far. Statistically, I think he's actually worse than Bryce Young's first 2 games. I saw a tweet that I'll have to go look at. But he's going to be good. And the Bears are going to be good. They're just not right now. They'll get there. They're just not right now. So I think my gripe with Bears fans is any misery that you're feeling is because you brought it on by saying they're going to be so good. They will be in a little bit, but it takes steps to get there, just like the Packers did last year with Jordan Love. And now we're good again. So we can be bummed when they give away a game in Brazil and relieved when a backup quarterback comes in who we just met 3 weeks ago and he saves the day against the Colts. So it's going to be like this. It's going to be dumb. We can't stay out of each other's way. And then we both try to say, no, you care. I don't care. You care. Did you hear about the Bears? I don't give a shit, but did you hear about, we're both the same. There's no difference. Maybe Packers Bears. I'm changing to this. Packers Bears history is different than Brewers Cubs. Fine. We're the same. We like our teams and don't like the other teams, and we like when the other team's bad, and we try to deflect how much the rivalry means to us. It's the same shit, Spark Guy. We're the same. No one's better than any of them. We're all trash as fans. Okay? Hammer that point home. Packers get the dub. They've got the Titans next week. We'll break things down even further later in the week. Horvath will have the picks. Hope to have more content for you. Probably won't. I'm a busy guy. Thanks for listening to this edition of Into the Winklerverse. You have a great rest of the Monday, and we'll talk to you tonight on the Infinity Sports Network.